Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Booker, Senior Instructor. This is your Honors B lesson for this week over your bow skills. We're going to start with your bow fundamentals. We are going to move into one-step number 4. And then we will continue our work with your bow kata, Shushi-no-Kon-Sho. Mr. Thompson will lead you through your bow fundamentals.
Okay, for our bow fundamentals, the first item that we will look at today is going to be new stance, the left forward fighting stance. Okay, so first thing we're going to do from our tension stance, we're going to come up to our yoi position. We're going to go ahead and step back with our right foot. Okay, bring our left foot in front, bringing the bow into our body with the middle of the bow about on the knot of our belt. This is a little more of a reverse stance than we saw last term. We got the bow is kind of pulled back and away a little bit. In the right foot forward stance that we used a lot last term, the bow is more forward. It's more of an offensive attacking position. With that left foot forward fighting stance, the bow's kind of pulled back a little bit. It makes it difficult for your opponent to know exactly how far you are from them, the distance between you. And so we're going to go ahead and look at this a few times from a couple different angles. So we're going to come up to our yoi position. Okay, we're just going to step back with our right foot and kind of just bring that bow back into your body. Okay? Kind of keep both your wrists straight. You want to be real careful with the left foot fighting stance that you're not moving your hands around on the bow, but you are maintaining the Jun-nigiri grip on the bow. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at this from the side. So I'm going to come up into that yoi position, stepping back with my right foot. Okay. You can see the middle of my bow is right on the knot of my belt, with the end of my bow pointed upwards towards my partner's face and throat, and the back of my bow angled towards the ground. Okay, so one more time. I come up into that yoi position, and I'm going to step back with my right foot to form that left forward fighting stance. One more time from the front, yoi, stepping back, left foot forward fighting stance. Okay, from the left forward fighting stance, we're going to go ahead and look at an Uchi-Otoshi strike. Now, we did this strike last term out of both the yoi position and the right forward fighting stance. So we're going to look at it from the left. We're going to come up. We're going to go ahead and step back into that left forward fighting stance. We're going to go ahead and step forward with our right foot, and it's going to be a big Uchi-Otoshi. So we're actually going to bring the end of the bow up and around and down. So from left forward, okay, and step through, up and down. Okay, Uchi-Otoshi strike. And from the side, same thing. Okay, left foot forward, fighting stance, step through, Uchi-Otoshi strike. Okay, into my side. Now, we're actually going to look at a second strike, so we're going to step forward, do an Uchi-Otoshi strike. We're going to step forward a second time, do a second strike. I'm going to come back into the left forward fighting stance. I'm going to step forward, Uchi-Otoshi strike. Okay. The second one is a little strange. Now, it's actually going to, as I step forward, it's going to come up and down. It's still going to be a big motion. It's just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and watch my yoi, step back into the stance. I'm going to step forward, Uchi-Otoshi strike, and down, step forward, Uchi-Otoshi strike. Let's look at that from the side. You have a slightly better view. The yoi, step back, left forward fighting stance, step forward, and Uchi-Otoshi strike, Okay, step forward, second strike, down. And you'll see that end up securely against my shoulder, and that strike does come up and back down into that strike. Now let's go ahead and look at this strike on a target. Okay, so I'm gonna have partner come out, and we're just gonna use another bow. Okay, and let's go and swap places. Let's just go so they can see me on this side. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into my left forward fighting stance. I'm going to step forward, do a uchi-to strike on the bow. Mr. Discord is going to take a step back, and I'm going to do a second strike on the bow. Okay, so up to my yoi, step back. Okay. Like we worked with last turn, we kind of did two different uchi-to strikes. We kind of did the small strike from the overhead position, and then that bigger strike with the wind up, that's going to be more like the strike we're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to start, I'm going to start nice and slow. I'm really going to kind of just work the technique. Strike. Then Mr. Disco's going to step back, and I'm going to wait for him to be set. I'm going to step through, strike. Left forward, fighting stance. Okay, step through, uchi-to strike. Step back, through, strike. Do be careful on your second strike because I am bringing my bow up and over and striking. And the end of the bow is moving towards my partner's head. So do be careful that you do not hit your partner in the head with your bow. They will not want to be your partner anymore. Right? Once you've worked that, find this little spot on the bow so you're making an exact strike. Don't just fling your bow around and hope it hits somewhere. He's got a little spot right there on the bow. That's perfect. That's where I'm going to aim for. Okay? Start. Just technique. Getting your bow strike exactly where you want it. Just like that. Okay? Once you get it down a little bit, you can go a little bit faster and a little bit harder. Thanks, sir. That is the double uchi-to strike from the left forward fighting stance. Now, from the left forward fighting stance, we're also going to look at block. Jodan-Uke, which is the high block. Okay? We use this as a defense against an uchi-to strike. So, from the front, I'm going to go ahead, step back into my left forward fighting stance. My first block I'm going to do, I'm basically not going to step. I'm going to basically take my front foot and I'm going to shift it out so my stance is a little wider and more to the front. And I'm going to bring that block up and in front of me. Now I want to be careful with the placement of my bow, that it's not too low, that it's not going to block it, or so far back that I may get hit. So I do want this in front of my face and up nice and high. Do try to make sure you've got a good grip on your bow, that you're about a third and a third and a third. If your hands creep in, makes it really difficult for your partner not to hit you, okay? So, good wide grip, put it up there, intercept the strike. Okay. Now we have two attacks, so we're going to do the block twice. So we're actually going to shift for that first block. I'm going to bring that bow back in. And I'm going to actually step back for the second block. So I'm going to shift for the first block, step back for the second. So let me go ahead, demonstrate this a few times, both from the front and from the side. So in a good left forward fighting stance. First block, I'm going to shift, block, pull it in, step back, and block. So one more time, left forward, fighting stance, shift and block, step back, and block. Let's take a look at that from the side. It's pretty good from the side. So I've got that pulled in, left, forward, fighting stance. I'm actually going to do this on a little bit of an angle. Right? So I'm going to shift and block, pull in, step back, and block. Okay? Keeping my grip nice and wide, intercepting the attack in between my hands. That is the Jodan-Uke block that we're going to use against the Uchi-Otoshi strike in bow one step number 4, which we're going to go ahead and demonstrate right now. We're going to have Mr. Booker's going to go ahead and step in, and he's going to demonstrate. I will do the attack. Mr. Booker is going to do the one step. Switch? Yes. Okay. Let's probably swap sides.
All right. Now, for one step number 4, you're going to be using that Jodan-Uke technique, that high block technique, and also the Uchi-Otoshi techniques that we've been working with, and that left forward fighting stance, Migi no Kamai. You want to get Japanese about this. Now, the way this is going to work, let's just have a quick look at this from the front. Starting in Yoi, stepping back, dropping into that left forward fighting stance. As my partner attacks, I'm shifting, Jodan-Uke, high block. And he's going to step forward and swing at me with the other end of the bow. I'm stepping back, and I'm blocking again. This is what we're going to work with this evening. Now, I'd like to take it through to the end of the one step, just so you know where we're going with this. After my second block, I'm going to open the door very slightly. I'm going to shift my left foot, my back foot off to the side. I'm coming through here with a side strike block against the end of his bow, and then I'm going to press it down a little bit. I'm putting him off balance and out of position. I'm pulling back in, moving forward slightly, and ski kome, 2-hand thrust to his neck. And then I'm going to shuffle step away. That's the entire one step. What we're going to look at this evening in our session today. First block, step away. Second block. So we're starting here. Left forward fighting stance. I'm going to tell my partner attack. He's going to step in and strike. And we're going to keep this fairly slow for right now. I want to be sure I'm up and out here, meeting his attack with the bow. And notice, I'm going to take my bow away. Notice that he can actually reach my head with this. We don't want to be in this kind of position here. I wind up overextended, the techniques are not effective, and I don't have to defend against this anyway because it's not gonna hit me. It's not close enough. Hi. So make sure of your distance. When I say 2, he will step forward, I will step back. 2. And I'm coming up with the block to meet his strike down. Now let's have a look at that again. And again, let's keep this fairly slow. As he strikes, I am not simply bringing the bow upward and letting him hit my bow. What I'm doing is coming across and thrusting up. I'm intercepting. I'm using the center part of my bow to strike against his. That diminishes his power and his control over his bow. If his grip isn't real good, I may knock it out of his grip. All right, 1, 2. All right, let's take it together once more. 1, 2, Now, this is going well at the end here. Because I'm pushing up against his bow, it starts to move up again. I can open the door, there's my side strike block, and I'm pushing him down this way. And I'm using his bow to push him off balance, to line him up for my thrust at the end. Now, we'll be getting into that in our next couple of sessions. Right now, let's really work on these Jodan-Uke blocks that you're coming up and block with power. I'm not just letting him hit my bow. It is not this. Here, I'm not just holding the bow up and letting him hit it. Now at that point, after his first strike, if all I'm doing is holding it up like this, he's just going to poke me with his bow. He's not going to try to hit me in the head. I'm giving him all kinds of other targets. So once more. 1, 2. That's so much fun. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, but again, take this slowly. The bow is a lot of fun, but not if somebody gets hit with one of these. But take it slowly at first, be sure of your mechanics, then very gradually go a bit faster, go a bit harder. It can be nice and fun. You hit your helper with the bow, they are not going to want to play with you anymore. So do be careful. Treat your partner with courtesy and respect. And you can both have a lot of fun with this. That is bow one step number 4. This is our bow kata lesson for this week. We are working with Shushi-no-Kon-Sho together. We will review the names of each technique. We're going to be working on good technique, power, and focus. Taking this through by the count, going a little bit faster, a little bit harder with the bow. We'll start off, again, by naming each technique as we go. We'll do a quick review of section 1 of Shushi-no-Kon-Sho that we worked with in our previous lesson. We're going to be focusing today on section number 2. So let's just take it nice and slowly. We'll name the skills together. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Ski-Otoshi, downward thrust. Ski-Kome, two-hand thrust. Jodan-Uke, low strike. Ski-Otoshi, downward thrust. Uchi-Age, upward strike. Morote-Uke, double hand block. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Gyaku-Uchi, inside to outside block. Yoi. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Gyaku-Uchi, inside to outside block. Yoi. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Gyaku-Uchi, inside to outside block. Yoi. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Gyaku-Uchi, inside to outside block. Now that is our first section of Shushi-no-Kon-Sho. To move into the second section, I'm going to step together, step out. Osae-uke, leg pin. Ski-otoshi, downward thrust. Then stepping through here. Tate-uke, vertical block. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Uchage, upward strike. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Yoko-uke, inside to outside block. Then I look to my left, shift my weight back over my right leg. Osae-uke, leg pin. Ski-otoshi, downward thrust. And then I'm stepping through. Tate-uke, vertical block. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Uchage, upward strike. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Uchi-Otoshi, overhead strike. Yoko-uke, inside to outside block. That's going to take us to the end of the second section of Shushi-no-Kon-Sho. That's as far as we're going to go in this lesson. Now that we've reviewed the names of the skills, let's focus on section number 2. And we're going to take this together by my count, going just a little faster, a little harder with each of these skills. We are not going to be naming them. We are just going to do them now with good technique, with power, and with focus. So let's start at the end of that first section. I'm in a right forward fighting stance, Hidari no Kamae. We've done Yoko-uke, inside to outside block. All right, let's take section 2 by my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we will take that again together. This time, we'll go a little bit faster. One of the nice things about this second section is it's nice and symmetrical. 8 skills this way, then we turn, the same 8 skills going this way. So working from Hidari no Kamae, the forward fighting stance. Yoko-uke. Now let's go by the count. We'll go a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now let's work through that section together again, and we'll look at it from behind, the way you're used to seeing it in class when you're looking at your instructor. So we'll start from here. Put your right foot forward, bow in at your left hip. Yoko-uke. And then my count, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now what I think we will do, we'll put the first section and the second section together. We'll see it, we'll take a look from the front by the count. Then I'll turn around. You can have a look at it from behind by the count. Then I'll turn back around. We'll go through one more time from the front. And we'll go just a little bit faster still. All right. From Hidari no Kaman, Gyaku-Uchi, my count. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two halves that fall nicely together. Now let's see it again from behind. All right, again. Hidari no Kaman, Gyaku-Uchi, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now, let's take it all the way from the beginning. We'll see it again. Facing front, and then we'll go through it again with me turning the opposite direction so you can see this from behind. By the count. Shushi-no-Kon-Sho. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's have one more look at that from behind now. My count. Stay with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. That takes us through to the second section of Shushi-no-Kon-Sho. And what I'd like you to do as you work with this section, watch it through once, just so you know where it is we are going with this. And then follow along, repeat it 3 times. If you need to, stop the video, go back, look at something again, and then you can move ahead. This is a pattern that you're already acquainted with. We are just deepening our understanding of it and getting it to the point where it's firmly fixed in our head. Getting to know it really well so we can do this with good technique, with power, and with focus. Thank you for joining me.